āina mai kākou. This is Kealoha Domingo, and we're here at the beautiful Capitol Modern, standing here in the sculpture garden. My good friend Rick Barboza, Native Hawaiian plant guy, Mr. Bloombastic. We are going to make some kalo poke for you today. It's a really simple dish. Poke means to cut into pieces. This kalo poke is a vegan version of a traditional our fish poke. The feature is our kalo, our taro plant, known by Native Hawaiians as our elder brother, something that we hold in high level of sanctity. We believe that if the taro is in front of us when we're eating, we behave at our very best. So, Mr. Barboza,
I'll try my best.
Behave at your very best.
That's a hard ask. But I like kalo in all different styles, and this version we use kalo pa'a, or just the cooked corm, like he said, cut up into cubes. And the variety of kalo that we're using today is called moi. Moi also shares the name of a native fish, or the threadfin fish. Then that fish itself was revered, but actually held in reserve for ali'i. Yeah, and kapu just for ali'i, or our chiefs.
You know, our job as Hawaiians is to take care of this plant, which Rick does very well.
I try.
And it takes care of us by it feeds us. Let's get into the preparation of this dish. We're gonna do this kalo poke. I do really prefer the Hawaiian varieties of taro because they have a nice gummy texture, and it also holds up really well for this poke dish. So I got a couple of the taro corms that are uncooked, just so that you can see what they look like. You can buy them commercially. You know, you can use a snap card to purchase this. And if you're lucky enough, you can go out and forage it, you know. Or
grow it at your house.
Grow it at your own home. Mm-hmm. You know, grow it at your home. So
many times people associate kalo with being grown in a lo'i, or in a water, you know, type system. You don't have to.
Yeah. You can grow it in pots.
You can grow it in pots if you want, yeah. So the part that you're looking at there is actually the corm, which would develop underground. And that part is harvested, but depending on the variety, it can take anywhere between 8 to 14 months before the corm is ready to be consumed.
The one thing about this corm, or actually the entire plant,
all Hawaiian varieties.
Hawaiian varieties contain a property called calcium oxalate. And what that is something that if you don't cook it thoroughly, it'll give you an itch in your mouth or your throat. And
it's not even an itch, it's like...
Yeah, it's not pleasant at all. So you want to be sure you cook it thoroughly. This one here, I steamed in my Instant Pot very traditional. You know, I mean, this is something that everyone can do. You don't even have to have an Instant Pot. You can boil it or you can steam it. It's hard to give an exact time about how long to cook it, just because they all vary in size, and you may have different methods of cooking it. So if you use an Instant Pot, I would start off at an hour. If you're using a traditional steamer or boiling or baking, you know, you might want to go for an hour and a half to 2 hours. What I typically look for is for the skin of this start to crack, and you can even you know, put a fork in it, make sure it's cooked all the way through, and then just give it a tiny taste, and you can kind of feel that
yeah, you know instantly
itch, you know,
if it's not cooked thoroughly.
And then we're going to go ahead and remove the skin. We're going to peel the skin off. That part we take back to our garden, and we feed it to feed it to the earth. The second cleaning of this will feed to the animals, and this center corm portion is for us to eat. So I have this one steamed. I kind of pre-sliced it a little bit, and I'm gonna just cut it into roughly about 1/2-inch cubes. So this taro is, now that I've cubed it, it's gonna be the base of this dish. I'm gonna put it all into this umeke.
So this form of serving at this stage of the kalo is called kalo pa'a. It only becomes poi once you ku'i it and smash it and turn it into pa'iai. And then once you start to fold in water, does it then become poi. So the same thing that you can consume at, you know, if you've ever come to Hawaii at a luau, it's the same plant, same portion of the plant that we're eating, but this is the pre-pounded part.
So now that I have this diced taro in the bowl, I like to use sesame seed oil It has a nice nutty flavor. I would say that the traditional ingredient would be something like a kukui oil, candle nut oil. That's not as readily available. And we try not to consume that in larger quantities. I mean,
Gastrointestinal reasons.
Yeah. So a little bit of sesame seed oil. You want to use your judgment because the taro will all be a little different. It might be a little drier. So if you want to add some moisture to it. And then, of course, we got to salt it. This is just some flaky salt. And then this here is inamona. This is the roasted kernels of kukui or the candle nut tree. Also another canoe plant, something that came here from across Polynesia.
Yep. What you can get kukui oil from.
Right. So this is the kernel of the nut that is it's roasted. You can actually go to a supermarket and purchase it, again with your SNAP card. The next thing I'm going to add in is a little bit of this sliced onion, just white onion. And again, I try to slice it relatively thin. I don't like to have a large bite of onion all at one time. And I'm just going to...
I do.
Yeah, he does. I don't know if his friends enjoy the onion breath afterwards, but...
I don't eat for my friends. I eat for myself.
So I'm going to add in that little white onion. This component here is limu. This one is a farmer-raised variety. They call this manawea. It's a variety of it. I'm not an expert in seaweed, but this one is a farm-raised variety, and I really like it because it's, again, readily available in stores. But also it's sustainable. It replenishes itself. It grows back really quick. So, as much as I appreciate the traditional varieties of limu, this farm-raised variety for me is what I'm going to serve often because, I'm not taking away from the natural resource for the generations. Because this poke kalo or kalo poke is based on a dish that's traditionally made with a protein like fish. It can be served as a protein replacement for someone who might be vegan or vegetarian, but it also serves as a great side dish because, on the other end, the taro is a traditional staple, and you kind of got the two in one, so it's like a complete meal almost.
I've even made a poke bowl out of it.
There you go. Using the taro as a starch, the complex carbohydrate, it just breaks down so much better than many of the other commercial starches that we use today. So, a lot of people are resistant to eat larger amounts of taro because it is a starch, because it is a carb, but the thing to remember, it's a really, really good complex carb that breaks down quickly. I mean, I wouldn't hesitate to eat a little bit more than your normal portion, my opinion. I'm not a doctor, but my opinion.
Yeah.
So what I have here is about roughly about a quarter cup, finely diced, finely chopped. Just gonna add that in and mix it in.
Manawea is the Hawaiian name, but we call it ogo. Is another. Yeah. Can't make it out to the ocean. It's good that we can get this in the store.
And just a little bit of this green onion or scallion or whatever you want to call it.
Akai haole.
Akai.
So again, this is a plant that was introduced into Hawaii. It's not a traditional. It's not a native plant, but it's named. It was given a Hawaiian name that shares the name of a native plant, an indigenous plant called aka'akai, which is our Hawaiian bulrush. That's used to be a relatively common plant in our wetlands.
So that was roughly about a tablespoon and a half of sliced green onion. Again, all of these quantities are adjustable to your own preference. Nothing really set in stone, but the main thing is you want to season it to your taste. You want to get a nice balance of the onion and the kalo and that limu that gives you that nice salinity and that ocean flavor. And the crunch. This is another option. We can add in a little bit of spice if you have some chili peppers in your yard.
Chili peppers are great.
So again, the chili. This one was just a commercial sambal again that you can also buy at the grocery store. Get everything incorporated in there. You want to have a little mixture of that fattiness from the sesame seed oil and the salinity from the limu. Yeah, and everything again to your own preference. So here we go. This is the final dish, kalo poke. I just went ahead and added a little touch more of the inamona on the top so that you know, you get that flavor coming forward, and a little bit of the limu on top. And
That's good.
that's pretty much it. You know, as you can see, you know, it's pretty easy to put together, absolutely delicious. So thanks again for watching. Kealoha Domingo.
Rick Barboza.
That's it.